Now, one day after former Liberian President Charles Taylor was convicted on multiple counts of war crimes and crimes against humanity by an international court in The Hague, reaction from African citizens is mostly welcoming the verdict. A Kenyan resident says he agrees with Taylor's punishment.
I'm very happy about the verdict because a man like that, a president of a country that has caused his country to fight, to be hurt, the way he has been hung at the court makes me happy because he caused the death of about 500,000 people.
A victim of the Sierra Leone civil war says he waited too long for the day Taylor would have to answer for his crimes.
I think everybody is happy for this type of judgment, long-awaiting judgment. People be crying for this judgment because I think impunity is being addressed, justice is being done for Sierra Leoneans. So we are so grateful to the international community.
A sentencing hearing for Taylor is scheduled for May 16th, with a decision expected about 2 weeks later.
Sierra Leone is celebrating today, not only because of the conviction of Charles Taylor, but also because it is the country's Independence Day. In an interview with Sierra Leone's Deputy Information Minister, Sheka Talawali, he says he views Taylor's conviction as a timely gift to his nation.
Well, I think it's just a coincidence because, I mean, I don't think the judges planned it that they are going to do. Well, if they did that, that's fine. But they didn't do it in collaboration with the government. Perhaps they would want to say, let us give the people of Sierra Leone something to cheer about on their Independence Day. That's why we are going to deliver this judgment on the eve of independence. That is good.
The country went through one of the most vicious periods of time. Now you recovered, and for some time it's even been forgotten. Nobody even talks about Sierra Leone anymore. What has been happening?
So much has been happening, and as you say, it was a regrettable chapter in the history of our country for us to have gone through that war. But we are trying to put that behind us. We've gone through a Truth and Reconciliation Commission. We've set up a special court to try those who are responsible. And then we are moving from there to kind of remake our nation, rebrand it.
Go back a little bit on the question of the Truth and Reconciliation. We know that so many people were affected by this the vicious civil war. How have you taking care of those who were seriously affected? It's like those who were mutilated, the children who were used in war, abused, raped. Up to this point, what has been done to make sure that at least their recovery is quick and consistent?
It is very hard to say the recovery will be quick, but we are very committed as a government to ensuring that they are taken care of. We are not only doing that on our own, we do it also in collaboration with international partners. So you found out that most of those who were mutilated during the war have their own houses now that have been built for them, and they are being taken care of. The government itself formed or established what we call the War Victims Fund. And this War Victims Fund is what we use to take care of people who fall into this category.
We have received reports from there where so many people also say that they were almost like they were forgotten. They have no specific plan, counseling or specific mechanisms to help them actually kind of try to make a living after all that devastation.
Well, those are reports you may have received for a while ago, but as I speak to you now, we are doing our best to help them out. And I can say most of these people have been given accommodation. Not only that, their children are receiving scholarships so that they can be helped in their education. But, I mean, we are a country, as you know, we are coming out of war, and there is so much to do generally, but they have not been forgotten, I can assure you.
Mm-hmm. We know that there were thousands of children who were forced into becoming child soldiers. And one of the dangers to any society is to have so many young children who have gone through a war, who have killed, who know how to handle weapons. What are some of the recovery programs that you have in order to make these ones go back into being just normal kids in society? Some of them are becoming big boys now.
Well, what we had initially in partnership with the United Nations was what we call the DDR program, disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration. They were disarmed and they were demobilized, and then the reintegration package included them being trained to have vocational skills. So you find out that most of these former combatants are now doing small trades. Some of them are carpenters, some of them are mechanics, some who are still of a school-going age are opted to go to school and they are being paid for. So they are being reintegrated into society. Some of them are security personnel, some were absorbed into the police force, and some in the military. So they have been reintegrated into the society. And now it is very hard for you to go to Sierra Leone and see identify who was a participant in the war and who was not, because we are all now acting in a more civilized way and without recalling what happened in the past.
Well, that was Sheka Talawale, the Sierra Leone Deputy Information Minister.